Hey, what's up guys? I'm going to be playing Hollow Knight today, which is one of my favorite games of all time. Hollow Knight is a Metroidvania, and it is very well known and is an indie darling. So I'm just going to start here. I already have a private account, and I'm not going to be playing on that one. I'm going to be starting a brand new account. I will be playing on controller. In wilds beyond, they speak your name with reverence and regret, for none could tame our savage souls, yet you the challenge met. Under Palos' watch, you taught we changed, base instincts were redeemed, a world you gave to bug and beast as they had never dreamed. From Elegy for Hollow Nest by Mona Mona Teacher. So I am planning for this series, or at least I'm hoping for it to be a series, to be more of like a guide instead of just a let's play, because I have played this game before on Switch, and it will be sort of like a guide to get started and pretty much the whole game. Like I said before, this game is amazing. It has incredible artwork and really good music by Christopher Larkin. And I can't believe it just got hit already. Oh yeah, and these little deposits, they're deposits of the currency of the game named Geo. And it's basically the entire game currency. So you're going to need a lot of it towards the beginning, but not so much at the end. And I suck at this. Higher beings, these words are for you alone. Your great strength marks you amongst us. Focus your soul and you shall achieve feats of which others can only dream. Collect soul by striking enemies. Once enough soul is collected, hold circle to, or it varies between consoles, to focus and heal. You saw me do that earlier before. Dang it. So this right here, this is called Lifeblood. When striking the small blue insects, it gives you extra hearts, but you cannot heal these hearts by focusing. So once you lose them like that, you lose them forever. And this part here, you can easily get more geo just by letting it break and running to the side real quick, and you can get another geo deposit. For that part right there, you just have to run across really quickly. There's nothing really much to it. Now for this is a technique called pogoing. It's by jumping and striking downward. You can do it on these spikes as well as creatures that you can hit. So yeah, it takes practice though. Don't know why it's not bouncing. Yep, and then you can make this jump here, and you can get what some people it's their first charm. Higher beings, these words are for you alone. Within our lands, do not hide your true form. Let all bask in your majesty, for only this kingdom could produce one such as you. Fury of the Fallen. Equip a charm to activate its powerful abilities. To equip a charm, open the charms menu while resting at a bench. And benches are just basically the save points of the game. There's going to be a lot of them. Well, it depends where you go, really. After resting at benches, certain enemies appear, but also certain enemies appear after you leave each room. So it's a good thing to know. Higher beings, these words are for you alone. Beyond this point you enter the land of King and Creator. Step across this threshold and obey our laws. Bear witness to the last and only civilization, the eternal kingdom, Hallownest. Here we drop down into the first town area and the only town area of the entire game. Dirtmouth, the fading challenge. Here we can equip our charms. You can also have the inventory, which has your nail and focus and other things you can learn, like shells and shards. You have your charms and eventually a map as well. Oh there, traveler. I'm afraid there's only me left to offer welcome. Our town's fallen quiet, you see. The other residents, they've all disappeared, headed down that well, one by one, into the caverns below. Used to be there was a great kingdom beneath our town. It's long fell to ruin, yet it still draws folks into its depths. Wealth, glory, enlightenment. That darkness seems to promise all things. I'm sure you too seek your dreams down there. Well, watch out. It's a sickly air that fills the place. Creatures turn mad and travelers are robbed of their memories. People, perhaps dreams aren't such great things after all. For all your mapping supplies, we'll be opening soon. Iselda and Cornifer. The Forgotten Crossroads. Another chicken video? One of the most important things to learn in this game is hitting up and down. Like I said before, pogoing is really good. It's a really good fighting tactic. But also jumping up and hitting enemies in midair can really help you a lot. This is the Elder Grub. Or the Father Grub, I mean. The Grub Father, that's what his name is. All of his family is gone, and you must traverse across the kingdom and try to find them eventually. And you will find them. Little worms. Called grubs. It's a booger. And this is a trick, you can hit through some of the objects if they're not too thick, I guess. Most people think it's a bug, but it's actually a game mechanic intended to be in the game. And this is Cornifer. He will sell you maps. Oh, hello there. Come to explore these beautiful old ruins? Don't mind me. I have a fondness for exploring myself. Getting lost and finding your way again is a pleasure like no other. We're exquisitely lucky, you and I. I'm a cartographer by trade, and I'm working on mapping this area right now. Would you like to buy a copy of my work so far? Now, by now, you should have the 30 geo that he asks for. View a detailed map of Hallownest in the map pane of the inventory. So that is, a map can be a useful thing, but it alone won't show you where you are. If you're not the head for directions, I suggest purchasing a compass for my wife Iselda. She's just now opening our new map shop in Dirtmouth, selling all sorts of useful things to wanderers like yourself. She'll even sell some of my old maps from time to time. I pop back to see her whenever I finish mapping an area. She's always so excited to see me. That's nice. Now to get this geo, you don't need an ability that you get later on. You can just, if you don't miss, you can actually photo on this worm and get it early. But it takes some practice. Also, a cool trick I learned recently is that if you double tap the map button, it will give you the entire map. Not the entire map, well, all the map areas that you've explored. Hello. Forgot about that. You can hit those falling spikes, and this is a grub. I mentioned him earlier. If you go back all the way to the top where I was before when we met the grub father, he will give you geo and other things the more grubs you rescue. That was a risky jump. get to the other side without having to go through this nonsense. Oops. And one of the things that always gets me too is that if you know there's a bench nearby and you're low on hearts, but you don't have to fight anything, try not to use your soul, because sometimes soul is very valuable and you might need it in a pinch. And so if you know there's a bench nearby, don't use it on healing. Just go sit down on the bench and it'll get all of your hearts back. Also, this is a hot spring. Going in the water will rejuvenate your soul. And once you beat this, you don't have to go through it again, it's just the one spitter. So the goal right now for me currently is to get as much geo as I can to get the compass that Cornifer mentioned from the map shop, so that then I have enough geo to pay for it, because it is insanely helpful. I cannot currently get that yet because I cannot jump high enough, but we will be able to get it sooner or later. What I am trying to get right now is about 360 about geo, so that then I have enough to buy the quill, so that then, I'll show you in a second after I kill these guys. So that then I can get the quill, so that then all of the area that is just blacked out will be filled in once I explore it. And then the compass that he mentioned. And the quill costs 120 and the compass costs 210. So about 330. I want to see what's over there. I'm gonna come back. Oh gosh. No! Wait. Oh boy. Long fall. Oh, come on. So that sign right here is actually the symbol for a stag, which is actually just a method of fast travel so you can get around the kingdom easier. And I believe the first stag is only 50 geo. Which sounds like a lot early game, but it's really not. Then you just have to ring the bell, and your stag will come. The last stag. Greetings, little one. It's been an age since I heard the ringing of a station bell. It echoed down the stagways and called me to you. I've grown stiff and tired over these many years, and I've forgotten much, but the sound of a bell will always call me back. These stagways stretch the depths of Hallownest. If you want to travel them, hail me from the platform. I will take you where you need to go. Thank you, sir. So now you can easily get back to the town and the Forgotten Crossroads. Nope, don't want to do it again. And now you're back at town. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go buy a compass from Zelda. We're going to get the Wayward Compass. Highly recommended. If you're having trouble finding your way in the maze of ruins below us, try this charm. It will pinpoint your location on your map. Incredibly helpful for finding your bearings in unfamiliar locations. So 220 geo, purchase item, yes. You can talk to her. Of all the places to end up, we've picked this dreary town. I thought it was a temporary stop, then my husband became obsessed with that old ruin. Now he's spending all his time down there. He argues cartography is sound business, but other than you, who's buying? Alright, so now we're gonna go back down and we're just gonna farm geo. Go back to the Forgotten Crossroads. And I am just going to cut and farm the same guy for geo over and over. He gives 45 geo. I will fight him once on camera, just to show you how it's done. Oh, I might get that grub first, actually. So in here, right here, there's a breakable wall, and there are 2 spitters inside, so you have to be careful. Be free. So this is the guy I was talking about. He's pretty difficult for people just learning how to play. Because that attack was 2 hearts. Yep. Failed that one. Oh yeah, and the reason why everything is red around me is because I have the charm Fury of the Fallen equipped. Oh, I forgot to equip that charm. It makes it so that I do double the amount of damage when I am about to die. It's not helpful until you realize you're about to die for it. Yeah, ouch. That's great. So what happens when you die is you have to get back to where you died. The same place. If you die again before you find, it's called the shade, before you find your shade, then you lose all the geo that was on that shade and it becomes replaced with a new one. with all the geo that you had when you were trying to get the other one. So be careful not to die. And when you're near a shade, this music plays, so it's helpful about finding where it is, even though it's on the map. As you can see by that scary looking thing. Easy peasy. Alright, so once I have enough geo for the map and quilt, I will check back in a second. Alright, so now that we have enough geo, we can go back to Iselda, or back to the stag station actually, and then take it to Dirtmouth, and then buy the quill, which fills in areas that you have already explored. It is super helpful because when Cornifor draws the map, there is actually a whole lot more than what he actually explores.
Bapanada.
Then you get the quilt. And now, whenever we rest at a bench, our map will say at the bottom, map updated. So now, yep, as you can see, we have the King's Pass, which is the tutorial, and the Forgotten Crossroads below us. If you double tap the map, you can see that we have explored some of the crossroads. And there's, yeah. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down and find Sly, who is a shopkeeper. He has a lot of really good and important charms. And he also has mask pieces and vessel fragments. And I'll explain what those are in a minute. Oh yeah, and these are, I forget what they're called, but when you strike them, and striking upward gives you the most, but when you strike them, they give you soul. So make our way over here, and this is technically the very first boss of the game. It is called as the Gruzmother, and the best way to kill it is just strike. And then at the end, when you think you're done, all of the baby regulars come out. Well, in a minute. And that gives you 50 geos, so that's a huge boost. Just pick up all these other guys. Now this up here is a charm shot, but we can't actually get up there yet. We have to have one of the special abilities that you can get throughout the game. Oh boy. Get out of here. And it is in here that we will find Sly. Oh, you oaf. You wield your nail like a club. Esme, how much cheaper do we have to go? Oh, what? Who are you? I see, this old village. What a strange dream to have led me down here. If you hadn't found me, I don't think I would have ever woken. I'm Sly. Usually I live in an uneventful life up in Dirtmouth. The air in these ruins doesn't agree with me, so I'd best be getting back. If you return above, come and see me. I'm probably the friendliest face left up there, and I can thank you properly for your good deed. So now, I'm going to go back up to Dirtmouth. Okay, so on your way, on your way back up to Dirtmouth, there's two different ways you can go, and I'm actually going to go this way because there's a lever that needs to be flipped, and it's helpful for getting back down here. First you have to get past 2 or 3 of these guys, I can't remember. Oh yeah, and with those guys, they spit out 2 more when they die, so you have to be careful to remember that. Otherwise you'll get hit. And in here, we are not nearly late game enough to get this yet. Like this, the tramways are very late game, but down here is a deposit. And by the way, some geodeposits, I think most of them in the game are actually just 15. But some are larger, but most of them on the Crossroads are 15. The best way to fight these guys is just to pick them off quickly so that they don't spawn too many of those babies, because it will hurt you. Also, the best time to attack them is when their baby and the original mob are very close together, so that then you can hit one and another at the same time. And this jump, it's not too hard. It's easier if you have one of the abilities, but no, really. Yeah, there you go. No Magio! Well, that respawns us on the other side. Can I get that? Yes, I can. So through here, actually, yeah, let me check. Yeah, so through here, there are these guys. This is where you can really test your combat. No, not like that though. When they are striking, you either go on top of them, or you can jump over them and go behind them. Like that. Easy peasy. Back here, but we're gonna go all the way to the top before we go to the stag, so that we can flip that lever I was talking about. Just hitting air. Whoops! Drop my thing. Sorry for that. I'm going to, yep, here it is, and flip. Now, if some of you are wondering, the reason why I didn't go right when I was up at Dirtmouth is because if you want to go any deeper, you have to flip that lever first. And through here, you can't get it yet, you have to get a lantern first, the Lunafly lantern. Yeah, that sucks, but we'll get it eventually. And as we make our way up here, there is a geodeposit, and there should be a grub in the room to fight. But first we have to fight one of those guys I farmed geo for earlier. So pretty simple. So we make our way up to the This is also the Crystal Peak room, but we don't really need to go in there right now because there isn't anything in there at all, really. Except for an NPC. But we won't explore that right now, it's a much later game. Yep, this is the grub room. Shoot his. Ow. Ow. Never mind. I'll be right back. For a second there, my brain just went into how I would usually act, because like I said before, I have a copy of the game on Nintendo Switch, where I am very late game, I am on the last boss, and so my brain just sort of switched to that function where I would normally fight, but I don't have any of the abilities right now. So yeah. If this is our third grub, then I'll actually go get the grub stuff right now, the rewards he gives you. So if we make our way all the way to the left, or up and to the left, I guess. If you time that just right, when the spike falls from up here, you can actually hit this enemy right here. It's really cool. This is the Temple of the Black Light. And there should be an NPC in here. Quirrell. Hello there. How delightful to meet another traveler on these forgotten roads. You're a short one, but you've got a strong look about you. I'm Quirrell. I have something of an obsession with uncharted places. This ancient kingdom holds many fascinating mysteries, and one of the most intriguing of them is standing right before us. A great stone egg lying in the corpse of an ancient kingdom. And this egg, is it warm? It certainly gives off a unique air. Can it be opened? There are strange marks all over it. I do so love a mystery, and who knows what other marvels lie even deeper below us. So yeah, that's very cool. Quirrell is an NPC we'll talk to a lot in this game. I think he has the second most dialogue. Right behind Zote, who's another NPC, so. And we are just next to the entrance to the Forgotten Crossroads. Yep, right there. Exit, entrance, I don't know. And now, when we leave, Sly should have opened his shop. So now when we check the map, wrong map. So now we have so much more filled in, and there's still a lot more to fill in, really. So for now, for this to finish this episode, I'm gonna go down and fight the boss, and then we'll end it there. Well, actually, I'll get the spell after you beat the boss, and then that. Hello. I knew we'd meet again. How do you like my cozy little store? I've made myself pretty comfortable here, selling old trinkets to travelers like yourself. If you're planning a trip below, I have several items that may improve your chance of survival. A mask shard. If you get 4 of them, you get another heart. A vessel fragment. If you get 3 of them, you get the chance to hold more soul. These keys are very useful, but you don't use them all that much. This charm lets all geo that you collect just automatically come to you. This charm lets you have more time to heal while you're invincible after you just got hit. This is the Lunafly Lantern. I talked about this earlier. And these, we can't do anything with these yet. You need the key first. But I'm actually going to get this. Alright, so I'm going to make a cut, and when I come back, we will be next to the boss room and ready to fight it. Okay, so hey guys, welcome back. Right here, we're about to enter the room where I farmed Geo, and I realized I never actually told you guys how to get to the boss. So you can actually go over this guy in case he's too hard for you, and you can just go right past him. He can't get through this gap. Go through here, and fight these two guys off. Sorry for the lag. So then you come up here, just around here, and this is the boss room. You have to fight off these little guys first. Make sure you're all healed up, and you can't skip the boss fight. If you break this after one of the segments, I'll show you what I mean by that. Ow, should have got that. This guy is really easy because when he jumps, you can go under him and attack him from behind right after he attacks. So yeah, this is what I meant by the first segment. After he goes like this, he kind of does, see fit, he gets mad. The way you avoid these is you just strike up and they will fly out of your way, and now you can break out if you want, but we're not going to. Also, he will do a charged attack. You can just simply avoid that, but sometimes it just looks like it's a little bit too, you might jump a little bit too early, and that's something very dangerous to do. You will almost always get hit if you jump too early. Alright, second sentence complete. And then this fight is very repetitive. You can just hit up again once he does that. Yep, jump too early. Alright, so this is the last time. Last segment, you beat him up. Wait, hold on. He does this one last thing. And then falls right through the floor. You can just beat him up. Drops is the city crest, which should be the very first thing you ever get in your inventory. Wrong button. Or besides the map. Stone slab bearing the crest of a Hellenist capital city. Has an insert on the back that would fit into a slot. Yep. This club is even fake. And since I've already gotten this achievement, it didn't show up, but once you beat this guy, you actually get the achievement Falsehood, because he is the false knight. He's actually a maggot. As you can see, his real body is right here. He's wearing the armor of a great knight. He's not real. And even his club was fake. So we go through here. And then just past this is a lever to get all the way back to over there. Need a bench so we can update all this area. So we go up here, and this is where we will get our first spell. And I apologize in advance for the lag. So now all of this is updated, and we are currently at the Ancestral Mount. Oh, what is that creeping out of the darkness? My, you're looking grim. A strange, empty face and a wicked-looking weapon. Something important has drawn you into Hallineth's corpse. But I won't ask what. Perhaps the reason you found me is because you need my help? Say no more, friend. I'm just going to give you a gift, a nasty little spell of my own creation. It's just perfect for a little one like you. Oh, ho, ho. Sorry about the loss. Can't do anything about it. Consume the vengeful spirit. Tap whatever button, it doesn't matter. To unleash the spirit. Spells will deplete soul, replenish soul by striking enemies. Oh, you've woken at last. I apologize. Perhaps I should have warned you about the power of that spell. I was watching over you as you slept, but seemed to have slipped away myself. Oh, ho, ho, ho. So funny, I know. Now we're awake. I was wondering whether you would do me a small favor. Not only as repayment for my gift, of course, simply because we're now friends. You see, a horrid great beast has made its home in the heart of this temple. Such disrespect. I will be grateful if you were to venture deeper and slay it for me. It's a hardy creature, but with your new power, you're more than a match for it. Good luck with this small favor, my friend. Oh ho ho ho. So go over to here. I'm not going to use it yet, but I'll use it because we don't need to right now. Benchfly. These little guys are called boulders. You can just hit them when they're on the floor. They're not that hard to kill. Even though you can jump over them as well if you need a good way of dodging. Oh, I didn't see that. Should be one down here, yep. Boom. Quick and easy. Now down here you won't be able to jump because of the spikes. I mean, you can try, no one's stopping you. Oh, nope. Tried to pogo at the very end there, it didn't work. Ooh, that was dangerous. No! Simple platforming. And in case some of you are wondering, this will not replace Just Saves and Beats videos. Oh my gosh, didn't see that. I will still be doing those as well. Just this is a big series, so it's going to be at least. What's over here? Secret, perhaps? Soul Totem. That's what they're called. And remember, striking upwards gives you more. If you go right underneath it and strike it, it will give you more. Pretty sure at the top of here is Lifeblood. Just fight off all these boulders. Don't jump. Oh yeah, I think it was just the 2 hearts. Some of them have 3, so, you know. Hello. Oh yeah, and that's the Vengeful Spirit. When you get close to these guys, they sort of hide in their boulder shell. They're called Elder Boulders. See how they hide? So that means you can't hit them with your nails. You have to use the Vengeful Spirit. And you have to use the Vengeful Spirit to kill one of these guys to get into the next area, and it is called Green Path. And you got the Soul Catcher charm. Hello. Oh, so it's done then. You've slain the beast. The poor thing, it must have been terrified of you. It used to be quite docile, but the rancid air in these caverns filled it with some ancient rage. Still, you did what had to be done. You have my gratitude. Of course, we both know you wouldn't have made it through without that spell of mine. And look, the gate between us is opened. I'm sure you're gonna move on. Farewell and have faith. Whatever you're seeking, it will find you. So for now, I'm going to take off Fury of the Fallen. I will not be putting on Soul Catcher. Actually, I will, because this isn't the Stalwart Shell isn't that good right now. Alright, so I think I will end this episode here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good day, and make sure to come back, subscribe, and like the video for more.